right, welcome. This week we have Hunter here. He's the man. He's been killing it lately. And I'm excited because he has some unique qualities that some of the other guys don't have at all. The sober game. So that'll be fun to talk about. So Hunter, I met you when I was, did we first meet? Oh, actually I was assisting, you just assisted me. So he's been doing this for a while. You took your boot camp what year? 2007?
2008.
2008?
Yeah. So a year after yours.
And then he assisted Ryan for a long time before he started assisting me. So you were with him, what, a year or two?
Yeah, it was like a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think as much as almost anyone, you've probably assisted the most programs. I mean, how many, 20, 30 programs?
Yeah, with pretty much all the instructors
Other
at
than
this
Ozzy.
point. Other than Ozzy.
Cool. So what I wanted to get into, what we usually start off things with, is basically, I guess we're here in Miami, which is pretty sick. So the next couple months, you're going to see a bunch of brigade interviewees coming here, and we're actually going to do a roundtable one too, which I'm pretty excited about. And the Miami trip's been fun so far, but what I wanted to start things off with, and how we always do, is getting into when you were not so awesome and amazing. So if you could give like a little kind of how you got into it and the progression you got into, basically.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was never like terrible. I would never say I was like a full chode when it came to girls. Like, I always had some successes before I even knew what game was. I was always like pretty much like played sports. I was like pretty like, good in school, things like that. I was an achiever, but I was always like the girlfriend guy. So basically what happened was I was in school, get to college and like meet a girl my first week, date her for the whole, the whole period. And like senior year, I stumble upon game. I like find some like David D stuff, and we end up breaking up. And I'm like, okay, so I've heard of this stuff, but now what can I do with it? So there was pretty much like a 2 to 3 year period where like I knew what it was, but I never I was still with my old social circle, and I never kind of like broke free. But then after that, what I did was I just broke away from my social circle and pretty much just went out on my own for like 3 to 4 months. It was just like terrible, like stumbling in the club. Like, I would go out and not approach anyone. I was like, fuck, something needs to happen. Ended up going to like a RSD free tour and like met some other guys and just kind of like sprouted out from there. And then I did like a 30-day challenge, and I was like hitting the wall. I was like, fuck it, sign up for a boot camp. Then it kind of like from there, and then I like did the boot camp, like become the assistant, and then just like every little thing just kind of like, the next step.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'd be cool talking about the solo stuff a bit, but also what do you think, I guess, what did Ryan see in you to be an assistant, and like what was the thing you pushed through when you took the boot camp?
I remember it was really funny because I guess at the time we had this like the corporate elbow. And I was doing stuff good that I didn't even know what I was doing. So I'm like sitting there in the club, like scratching my head. He's like, dude, you just opened with the corporate elbow. I'm like, okay. I didn't even know it was good. But yeah, I was like, all right. And I remember like some early learning lessons too. Like, I'd be in set, and I remember like the biggest takeaway from my boot camp was like I could get in there, be social, be a fun guy, but I was like giving my value away because I'd be like focusing on other people instead of just focusing on what I have to say. So like, that little minor tweaks like that helped me very much early on.
Yeah, like reacting too much as opposed to just like dictating the path yourself.
Yep.
So, cool.
Big time.
And then so when was, like you said, we were talking about before how all the other brigade members had their like period of solo game style. So that was after your boot camp when you started rocking it solo?
No, I actually always had like a few good wings like to go out with, like that I met through RSD. And we would just like literally like religiously go out like 3 or 4 nights a week. And I remember it was like one strip of bars, and we just always just go, they called us like the squirrel squad, because we just like hop to the next, hop to the next, hop to the next, hop to the next. And that was like, looking back, that was like a really fun period of my like development, because didn't care about the results, just cared. It was like fun to be out and fun to like know game.
That's when like you're growing the most too, right? When you're at the intermediate level.
Yeah. But no, like back to the solo stuff, like the point I wanted to make was basically like at every step of my progression, what I realized was when I look back at it was I came to a point where like what I was doing was like intolerable, and I just had to like bust through busted that motherfucking wall pretty much. Like, I was out by myself, and I'm like, this has to change. I have to find other guys to go out with. I find other guys to go out with, then I'm like, I want to get better. I'm doing 30 days. After I do 30 days, I'm like, boot camp times. After boot camp times, I'm like, you know, it's like the next thing. It's like what travel, you know? After travel, it's like there's always something where I'm like trying to expand my comfort zone.
Traveling with pickup even.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool too. I was talking with Zach before about how when you look at the long-term goals, you can't look at like the end goal. It's like you get one ladder up the rung, and then you see like the next thing, and then you get one more on the next thing. And that's something with pickup a lot. I hear guys, they're like, when will I be awesome at this? It's like, well, dude, just take after the program, see where you're at in 2 or 3 months, see what your new sticking points are, and then you'll learn what you need then, right? Maybe it is like, yeah, hit up Vegas for a couple months because your comfort zone in your city's whatever, you know. Maybe it's like go out solo. Or as you mentioned, like the 30-day challenge is huge because it really pushes your sticking point like right in your face. You're like, oh, this is where I'm fucking up right now, you know?
Yep.
But I think the big takeaway too with that for everyone out there is to the action you took, right? By constantly going out and constantly like being aware of like, what am I trying to hone in here? What am I trying to do, you know?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. I pursued it with a single-minded focus. I always had like a goal and a vision of like who I wanted to be. At the same time, I just had like a full 100% belief in the process. I knew that like if I just pursue this, then it like things will happen, and it didn't matter how long it took it all.
What would be
sure.
what's your vision moving forward? What drives you now?
Well, I think that like, well, for instance, like when I took my boot camp, I was going out like every night, and they were like, you should like dial it back. Like you shouldn't go out like as much. So I was just like going out crazy. I think that's like true for anything though. Like if you just do one thing, then you kind of like lose that well-roundedness about you. So that's something that's like really helped me a lot, like recently, even like just like focusing on like, it doesn't have to be a ton of things, but like go snowboarding with your friends, or like go make, for my passion would be like gym stuff, like just make that like a big thing. And I'm always like,
you go to the gym? Oh,
I'm always like talking to, yeah, you like that? I'm always talking to like girls in set and like screening, like, is she healthy? Does she do yoga? Things like that. So.
Great. Actually, one that I didn't mention that I wanted to ask you is when you met me, we talked a lot, and then we did a couple boot camps together. What was the biggest thing? I always try to see how your game applied the Evolutions material, basically just my theory of shit.
Yeah.
So what was kind of the biggest takeaway you got from hanging out with me?
Well, back then when I started out, I was always like a normal, cool, fun guy with good social skills, but I totally lacked the outer game. So basically, like literally my first 2 years of progression in game were like fully outer game related, to just like dealing with things in the club, mixed sets, what to do in this situation, how to pull, how to, you know, make it happen the same night sort of thing. But then when I met you, when we did the DC Blizzard boot camp.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can do that story too if you want right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I remember like we were going through like a whole like Eckhart Tolle, like Jed McKenna thing at the time, and I just remember you being like super chill. I remember like going out the first night, the clubs were all like pretty weak because like we had just hit like a monsoon blizzard.
Snowpocalypse.
Snowpocalypse, yeah.
DC, yeah.
Snowball fight times. But we're in the venue, and I'm used to just like running around like boom, 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 boom. And I remember you being like, okay, she's with a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. She's down. And I just remember everything being like so like well thought out and focused. And you were like, she's down, or something like that, and just like go in, and like the girl on the dance floor, for instance, just like, yep, she's the one. So it was just like a different style. But I mean, if I had to like pick like the top things that like I learned from you or whatever, it would definitely be like the subtle like extreme dominance. And this is where it all gets confused. This is the number one thing where guys get it confused. They see this shit on fucking YouTube and like go in, oh, caveman style, full fucking pick her up, twirl her around, all this shit. But I think that your way of...
It's to make out your dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, your way of like the subtle extreme dominance is, I guess, the best way I can describe it, of where you're just always holding the frame, is something that like definitely helped my game big time.
That was a fail.
Nice work over there by the audience. Cool, good shit. Let's see. I think do you want to tell the DC story now? I might as well just tell that story since we talked about it, and then we'll keep rocking.
Sure, the
Yeah, or which one are we going to tell from that one? The Saturday night? Like, we have nowhere to sleep.
oh, okay.
Or was that one of the ones you wanted to tell or no?
What, like the snow blizzard
Yeah,
thing? I could tell that. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like, we're going out doing this boot camp, and the whole city is shut down, and we have to take a train there. We're on the train. It's probably like, we're getting to boot camp. It's like 10 o'clock. It's like, the metro will be closing at midnight. And we look at each other and we're like, fuck, we have to work. So, like, what are we going to do? So we get there and we're like, I mean, there's pretty much no way out. It's either like pull or walk in the fucking snow back home. Like, there's no taxis running or anything. So basically we're just like looking around, like looking for whoever's down.
And there's not a lot of people out.
There's like no one out.
Because there's no way you could get there even, basically,
Yeah.
unless you walked.
And you pretty much just like, she's down on the dance floor. Oh no, you had met the brunette earlier in the night and she kind of like scattered off and then she came back at the end. But yeah, so basically I just like went in on the blonde girl and just kind of like got lost from you. And you had the brunette that came back at the end.
Yeah, that was awesome. Because, like, for me, I don't know if I had to deal with the guys while I was there, but she had 4 guys staying at her place. So I don't know if you remember this, but so I like go back to her place and I'm like, I'm just looking for a place to sleep, and all of a sudden we get back there. These 4 dudes are not happy that I'm there, basically. And they proceed to take me into the kitchen and they're like, oh yeah, like, do some drinks. And I'm like, I'm from Wisconsin. Fuck yeah, I'll drink your drinks. And all of a sudden I'm just drinking this shit and I'm like, I can handle it. And she takes a sip. She's like, oh, and it was like gin, champagne, like vodka, and or like it was horrible. And they're trying to get me hammered, basically. And then some dude passes out in her bed. She's like, Johnny, get out of the bed. I'm like, fuck, I just want a bed to sleep on. So finally crash out in the bed. And I'm like, sweet, might as well like go for the hookup here. And she's like, no, it's that time of the month. It's that time of the month. And I'm like, whatever. She's like, but there's always anal. So I'm like, all right, here we go, whatever. And then I remember we met up the next day, like in the snow, and we're like trudging through the snow and shit. And it was like, yeah, get laid. So I like that story. It was good.
So the big takeaway there?
Do anal. No, sorry. Big takeaway.
Is game like there's no other option? Because if you go out like there's no other option and you can't get home and you're snowed in, then you have no other chance but to do it.
That really is, yeah. It's just like burn the boats.
Yep.
Like you cannot, I was literally like, I will be sleeping in a snowbank tonight.
Same thing as like what we call like travel game. You're in a town for one night. You're not at your hometown. You have one night to make it happen. It's on you.
Do that shit up. Great. So I kind of threw you out of balance there, but the big thing that I thought, like I said, every brigade dude, we go for the main strength they have. And I think you have a lot of awesome strengths, but the one that I think is very unique is the sober game stuff, because you were basically full sober even when you got into ours, or any sort of pickup stuff, right?
Yeah.
So one, I think it's cool, maybe say just a bit of why you are like that, because I think a lot of people do it for the wrong reasons. They're like, Owen does it, so I'm going to be like him, or whatever. And then I guess just the biggest challenges, and then also kind of like why that's helped you out. Because I mean, ultimately, I think some of my best nights are when I'm like either no drinks at all or maybe a beer here and there, but also it's just like you get lazy at times. At least that's kind of my excuse.
Yeah,
So I'd like to kind of hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'd say that's like my number one thing that's like helped me out in this. Basically, what I see with like a lot of guys is they're like, I quit drinking, and they like quit drinking for a week, and they call quit drinking like, oh, I'll just have a beer or something like that. Like when I did it, I just pretty much went cold turkey because I knew like it all just stems from me just wanting to be the best that I can be, and I'm just like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it right. And one of the coolest things, like when I originally like found out about this like self-development pickup path, was like, oh, I always thought like you go to the bar, drinking is part of the night. Like drinking is like the fun of the night. And that's, once again, that's basing your fun on something that's like external than like bringing the party from within. So basically, what happened was over time, I just, I really don't even think about it now. Like when I go out, it's just I don't know. It's just like, what was your question exactly? Like,
Well, I think, yeah, just a couple things with it. It's like, one is you deal with the peer pressure when you stop.
yeah,
So, and I think there's like a threshold where at first you're like, no, dude, I quit. And they're like, come on, dude, just have one. But then after there's a point where they're like, oh, no, that's just, they don't even ask you anymore, right? Like I would never be like, dude, take the shot. Because this is like, it's a waste of time. And it's
or like the
stupid.
girl, or like guys are worried about the girl.
Yeah, they're
saying,
like, why aren't you drinking?
Why aren't you drinking? That shit never happens.
Yeah, if you're engaging,
It's all
and she's
about,
having
yeah,
fun.
it's all about how you frame it.
Yeah, and then I guess how do you think, why does that make you that much better, gaming that way?
Well, first of all, the hardest part about it is getting into state at the beginning of the night because it's so easy. It's such a dirty high to just like get a couple drinks and then you're feeling it. The problem with that for me was like at the end of the night, either like don't remember what happened or just like lose fucking control of the situation. But no, I mean like it really forces you to like be process driven. So at the beginning of the night, it's really like fail, like do the shit or fail like hard. So you're gonna like fail hard or you're gonna like do the shit. So like if you're not taking the action, then it's just never going to happen. So that means pretty much.
Sweet. And then, do you know, it's like some of the big things for me is, well, it's interesting for you because you never even had the reference points of gaming drunk.
Yeah.
But for me, some of the big shit is like if I'm buzzed up, it's like I see the girl, I'm like, bitch, let's get out of here, and like I'm much more comfortable escalating because you only see the pro, you don't see the con. So some of the more dominant direct shit, was that kind of more of an issue for you because you were sober at the moment? And the other thing is guys worry about like, well, she's drunk and I'm sober, like how do I deal with this, like all that stuff. And then like the drunk dudes in the club and you're like, oh, look at these retarded people here just fucking sloppy falling around, you know?
No, it's just like anything, man. It's just like you jump in the cold water and then it warms up after a while, and I don't even pay attention to dudes in the club, man. I just go for what I want. I go, you see the girl, you go talk to her. I mean, that's such a variable that doesn't even matter. It's like, oh, there could be drunk dudes, or they could be friendly to me, or they could be not. I mean, I always like abide by the simple rule of like I want the straightest path to A and B. If I have to talk to the guy, then I'll talk to the guy. If he's drunk, then I'll just like, fuck off, whatever, like that. Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm not better than anyone for going out sober. I don't look at it like that at all. Basically, the trait that has helped me cultivate the most is making a decision, sticking to it 100%, and being able to do that again and again with different aspects of your life. For instance, going to the gym. I'm going to the gym, there's no deviation, I'm just going to do it X amount, and let's get on with it. You can do that at aspects of your game too, like I'm going to approach, I'm going to go in solid, it's the way it's going to be, regardless of how I feel, and let's get on with it. And it's like a muscle that you build. The drinking thing was only really like one aspect of it. You can do that again and again, and you can do that when it comes down to like your business life, with time management, with anything you do. And that's pretty much like the number one thing that it's helped me cultivate.
The willpower.
And it's an inner game thing. Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to.
That's something that I always talk about. You know, it's like a Tony Robbins thing where he always says, find like a higher meaning, find a higher purpose. Mm-hmm. And so you could look at it, let's say approaching a girl. On one side you could say, well, I want to approach her because I want more women in my life. Or you could be like, well, if I don't approach this girl, then I'm stunting my willpower. So then I am more likely to eat the chocolate, or I'm more likely that piece of bread, or I'm more likely to be like, oh, I just want a beer right now. Yeah, big Instead time. Of being like, no, fuck it, everything else I'm cutting. So it's more like a overarching self-esteem or the willpower of how you said procrastination.
Yeah, yeah, big time. And it goes back to like one of the things that I love that you talk about. You're like, I'm drinking this water right now. I'm more awesome because I'm drinking this water, and everyone else is drinking sugar and taking his. It's like everything that you do is like increasing your self-love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Sweet. So I think probably last thing we can end it out is some amazing stories. Because I knew you had some stories you wanted to tell. You talked about at the beginning you're afraid to approach even, and getting out there, getting comfortable. And it's been 5-6 years in the game now?
Yeah.
To kind of rock it out and going out at least probably, like what do you average? Probably 3-4 nights a week for the last
3 nights a week, like
5
overall.
years. And he has the full 9 to 5 job or 8 to 5 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right, so the last thing to end things out here, I think it'd be a good idea to get a few glorious stories for the most part. I know you have a couple. They better be good, otherwise I'll be bored and I'll just edit them out, and then you'll look kind of weird. So, give me first story and then kind of like a takeaway for the guys at home.
This story took place very recently this year. It was during the inauguration, the Obama administration, second term in DC. You wouldn't typically think that this would be a party weekend, but for some reason the clubs and the bars were just popping that weekend. I had some friends in town visiting. And one thing that I've never done before is online game. I don't know why. I'm just very like minimalist and don't really care about investing any time other than just like FaceTime when I rock shit. But I had like
What do you use FaceTime? You actually use that with girls?
No, FaceTime.
Like face to face.
Face to
Okay,
face.
sorry, cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, what's up, girl?
No. Yeah, I need to do that. So basically I just had a profile set up and like girls were hitting me up. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll use it just as like a momentum builder at the beginning of the night or whatever. So like me and my friend meet her and her friend at the bar. It's like Friday night. Literally, this was the quickest pull ever. I was like 5 minutes. I just went in. I was like, let me get one drink and get out of here. And I had it logistically set up to where I live right next to the bar. We go back, cross that one off the checklist. That was right away. We go, at this point, it's like pretty late, and my friends are already at the bar, and we're trying to lose these girls. So we get out of my car. I park by the late night spot.
So
And
you hooked up in the car, or you hooked up at your place?
I hooked up at my place. It was like a 5-minute pull.
And then
Literally,
you're like-
all the comfort was built online and through texting, and then it was just a simple matter of making it happen.
Yeah. And then what was your like, oh, we got to go back and meet your friend or something? How did you get around?
No, let's go
your
back and
place?
get a drink.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, let's go back and get a drink.
And that was when you were trying to lose them or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's the part.
Nice.
Basically, we're trying to lose them, and I park my car and we start walking, and me and my friend are like walking a little bit ahead of them. I'm like, all right, as soon as we get to this corner, sprint and dive into the first parking garage you see. So we're like walking ahead of them, boom, just tuck in and like sprint, go through a parking garage, hide from them. We're like giggling as they walk by, and then we get to like the late night like Middle Eastern party. We get there, we show up, my friends from home are already there. We meet already had like massive state and massive momentum built, and we meet these like 2 like college girls, and basically just like persist with them all night. I'm driving them back. She's like giving me directions. I'm like, all right, my friend's hooking up with the girl in the back seat. I'm like, all right, so where do you live? She's like, oh yeah, just go up here, make a left, and she starts like just giving me a blowjob like right in the car as she was like telling me where to go. But I didn't close that one, so that was like 2 in that night. So basically, we go out. This is Saturday.
Next night, yeah.
Saturday early, and I approach this Asian girl. Start talking to her. I'm like just like, I hate this term, but like nagging her, just like saying everything. I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't like that. I don't approve of that, just because I thought it was like funny and like to do. Basically, and then just like leave her and go start just like having fun partying, being like the center of attention, partying with like a group of Brazilian girls. She taps me on the shoulder, the first girl, and she's like, hey, weren't you just talking to me and now you're talking to those girls? And I don't know what it was, but like right at that point, this club has like 3 levels, and I'm like, it's go time with this girl. So I just like literally grab her, go down to the second level, get a drink, go down to the first level, and then just go right to the taxi, and I'm parked her outside, consummate that interaction.
In the car again.
In the car.
Nice car.
In the car. Yeah, the carpool.
One other benefit of being sober.
Yes.
Having a car.
That's a huge benefit actually.
Yeah.
Like half my pulls are carpools. So then we get back into the club. It's getting pretty late, and we see these two Australian girls. They're like,
What do you say for like the car pulls? Are you just like, oh, adventure in the
No.
car, and then you're like in the car?
no, I say, we're getting into a taxi. We're going to my friend's having a party at the bar across the street. You always say like at the bar across the street, and then you're parked across the street, and then you just get into the
You're
car.
like, yeah,
and-
let's do this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I already know. It's
Nice.
like, it's hot, it's on a win. So that was the second one. And then the third one was the girls leaving coat check. It was an Australian two-set. That was just pretty much like they're leaving, we're leaving, get them back to the house. This was really funny. We like threw in some RSD like Alex videos because the whole time I'm like, oh yeah, I have a friend, Alex, Australian, blah, blah. We throw it on, they're like, we know him. One of our friends hooked up with him. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. And then just pretty much took that one down for number 3.
Nice.
yeah.
Did you in between clean up with the ShamWow?
I did
there's
not. I did not
no
clean up with the
ShamWow
ShamWow.
action.
I did not clean
Okay.
up. That's only for guests. That's
Oh,
only
that's
for
only
guests.
for guests.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't use that. I use
Nice.
the master uses the real towel.
Actually, well, you didn't clean in between the girls Saturday and then the blowjob. Was she just like, this tastes weird? Who knows?
My friend did point that out.
Okay, so what would you offer other than you being amazing? What can someone take away from that, other than inspiration and awesomeness?
Yeah, the biggest thing is like with the one night stand or the same night is like noticing the windows and like escalating on a high note, escalating on those windows because a lot of guys, they'll just like ride it out or they're like scared to fuck it up. I think that's the biggest issue, and it's like knowing when it's go time, when it's like time to pull.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And not settling for the number, and also seeing what you can. I think too, it's like it's just so far outside of guys' reality that they could have 2 in a night. So like, there's a dude last night. He's like, I closed. I'm like, oh, we're still in the like. You fucked her in the bathroom? Oh, he's like, no, I got her number. I'm like, go back and fucking close then. Mm-hmm. And then he pulled her home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to, like you said, find those windows where it could be midnight, it could be 11, and you're like, yeah, it's go time, and not just settle for the number and follow your typical little trajectory of what you think how it should go, and actually push things further. And then also having the balls to be like, yo, let's get out of here. You know, like sometimes it is you have to just kind of run away from them to be nice or something. But also it's like, you need to leave now. I'm going back to the club or something. You know, like when you're in Vegas or some shit.
Yep.
So I think that's awesome. All right. I think that's some fucking solid shit. So kind of ended up here. Do you have any final words, Hunter interview of glory?
No.
Just take action, be awesome, get some biceps, and you rock. That's all I'll say, I guess. Thank you for showing up again here. I hope you enjoy your time. For me, Miami's been sick, and I'll see you next week.